Hi guys, my name is Dean Jones. I'm a Realtor-Associate at Coldwell Banker Jamaica Realty and founder of JamaicaHomes.com. I'm going to be covering a topic today which is of widespread discussion, the future of real estate in Jamaica in relation to AI, technology and change. The next evolution, AI. The world is changing and real estate is no exception. AI is no longer a futuristic concept. It's in our living rooms, it's on our phones, it's on our tablets. ChatGPT, it's the talk. Everybody's using it, or at least a lot of people are using it. And to some degree, it's already profoundly reshaping industries worldwide, including real estate. Some countries have been, faster at adapting this technology. Some countries haven't. A lot of people, however, see AI as a threat. And there's no doubt that it has affected certain industries. One that comes to mind is writers. Me personally, I've been blogging for like 15 years now. And I used to actually pay a lot of bloggers to write for me on a regular basis. And I no longer do that anymore. And I know a lot of people have gone that way too, because you have ChatGPT, right? And so what you used to be able to do in half a day, you can do in an hour nowadays. Others view AI as an opportunity. The truth? Is it a tool? No different from a level in a builder's toolkit? I mean, for me personally, I'm just going to jump right into this. I'm a fan of AI. I'm a fan of technology. I was one of the early adopters, if you like to put it that way. I remember about 2 years ago. I think it's that long time. It's moving really quickly now. And ChatGPT was launched. It seems like just like yesterday, to be quite honest. And got this telephone call say this new chatbot. It's been launched. Microsoft was involved in that, and it's revolutionary. And do you know what? Let me try and sign up. And hey, I got a login and started to experiment with it. And it was like, wow, this is amazing. This is mind blowing actually. And there was a lot of scaremongering in the beginning. People talking about AI. Will it become smarter than us? Will it take over? And all of those are things that have been discussed and are being discussed and should be discussed because it's a powerful technology. But today it's all about AI and the role in real estate, right? From data to deals, if you like. So just to set the scene, I believe it's revolutionizing. It's changing the real estate industry in several ways. You've got predictive analysis. AI can analyze market tools and predict prices, etc. Movements, helping investors and agents make data-driven decisions. You've got virtual assistants and chatbots. If you don't know about those tools can help you handle client inquiries 24/7, streaming, customer service, smart property matching. AI can analyze buyer preferences and recommend properties instantly. Automated contracts and transactions. This is something I've been writing about quite a lot recently, and it's to do with the blockchain. It's to do with AI-driven contracts, and all of that being computerized. So, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail here because I don't want to confuse you guys, but all of that is really exciting, and I've written on that. And then you've got AI-powered marketing. AI tools can generate content, run targeted ads and optimize listings for maximum visibility. And I think that's where the strength of it is for us real estate agents, us realtors. Those are tools that can help us to perform and be more optimal, help us with our time management, and help us to just succeed really, to do things quicker. Time's always an issue in in this field, and having good time management and being able to get stuff done and get through our marketing tasks is a really important thing. So that's where I think it can help. But I'm just being upfront in saying that I was an early adopter. I support the use of AI, but I'm going to jump right into this discussion because really that's just my view. But I just want to just talk around some of this. So yeah, it is my belief that AI is growing in the real estate industry, and the impact on Jamaica is here, and it's going to grow. And I think it's time that people started paying more attention to what's really happening in the rest of the world, because it will affect Jamaica. I just got off the call with somebody actually who's a friend of mine. She's developing a digital business card, which it's not been launched yet, but it's about to launch in Jamaica, and I think it's really a good thing. And we were talking about the use of AI, and I mentioned ChatGPT, and she said, "Yep, use that every day." And so I was like, "Hey, wow, yeah, people are using it. There's a lot of people using it. I mean, why wouldn't you use it, right?" That's my view anyway. My personal stance is, I don't believe AI is cheating, and I've heard that a lot. I've heard it from a lot of people. And normally, I think that a lot of the people who are saying this, usually, unfortunately, I don't think they're technology savvy, or they might not be into technology. So I think it's a get out, if you like. Oh, he's cheating or she's cheating. She's using AI. There's a taboo around that. It's not original content, for example. But my stance is different. As I said, I've been writing for over 15 years. I've been blogging for over 15 years, and on a daily basis. I used to blog about project management on a daily basis. Used to run a blog called Project Journal once upon a time. I merged most of my blogs into JamaicaHomes.com, so a lot of the content on there is fully original, non-AI. But do I use AI today? Yes, I do. Why wouldn't I? I mean, my view is, would you ask a builder not to use a hammer to build a house? Oh, let's take that a bit further. Would you ask a builder to build your house without using a level or a shovel? So guess what? Let's go back to the older ways of building, shall we? I'm not saying there's not a place for some of these techniques, like hanging a string and ensuring a line is straight, or putting a plumb line across and just iron it out. I mean, yeah, there's a place for those things, but if you've got the tools, bring them on, because I want my house to be straight. I don't want wonky lines. I don't want a house that is tipping one way. I don't want unevenness when I'm walking around, and door entrances that haven't been measured properly. If you've got a laser measurer, bring that to work. Use that, and use the other one as well. Use the tape measure, but use the laser measurer first, because actually that's highly accurate. It's quicker, and it gives you a damn good reading. So use the latest one. So my point of view is that for those of you who say don't use ChatGPT, or those who use ChatGPT are cheating, I think you need to wake up, actually, because it's just a tool. And if I were to fast forward 10 years from now, those who are born into this society, they're going to wake up, and they're just going to be born. They're born into this. They're going to be using this, and it will be no different than a builder and his hammer, right? Where I draw the line with AI, however, is some people may ask, for example, ChatGPT to draft a blog about X. And I think that while the tool is good and it's brilliant and it can do that to a certain degree, I think that we should be responsible enough, especially in our fields. I'm a project manager by background, building surveyor also, chartered building manager, and I'm a realtor. I'm many things, but at the moment, first I'm a realtor. But yeah, going back to the point is, if I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do something, I think we need to be responsible in drafting what it is we're asking it to do and sense checking the response and not just using it. I think that there's a responsibility to do that because there are errors with technology, even ChatGPT. I've seen it. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to many of you. So yeah, do check the output and do formulate the content to a certain degree, and absolutely use ChatGPT to expand, to elaborate, and to help you get those references in, because it makes life easier. Why wouldn't you want to make life easier? I know most people have a microwave in the home, right? And how about you just get rid of that, because that's new technology. I mean, it's old technology now, but you could say that it's within the last century, that's new. So are you gonna shut those things out? I think that ChatGPT is a tool for today, and it's not going away. It's not going anywhere, and is affecting the real estate industry. And realtors, real estate agents need to make use of it, because it will make your life a lot more easier. It will help you to do things that took hours to do in minutes. And why not? But there's a big I get the concern. There's a lot of concern around AI. There is. And that's not going to go away, because the technology is going to replace jobs. It is replacing jobs, and people are out of work left, right, and center because of this too. But what you have to do, my opinion, is that you have to not look at the negative. There's always going to be negative around technology, around certain technologies, around new things that are earth shakers, if you like, things that disrupt the market, so to speak. Don't be scared. Look at the opportunity. Focus on the opportunity that technology brings, or that thing brings. I think that's what we need to do as agents. We need to focus on the future. We need to plan for now and focus on the future. Look at the areas where it can benefit you, the areas where it can make your life easier, the areas where it can help you formulate presentations for clients, for example. I mean, the technology is boundless, and with the right skill set, you can get it to do a morass of different things. So why this conversation matters? Well, the world is changing fast. Those who adapt will thrive. Jamaica is a laid-back society, country. It's moving faster, but that's what we love about it, right? People come here to relax. People come here to enjoy the sea view. And sorry about the noise in the background. I'm based in St. Mary, and where I am is a building site. I mean, we'll discuss this in another podcast. I mean, this is my first of this type, actually, but the real estate on the north coast, going all the way back up to the west coast, back down to Portland, it's just thriving. There is somewhat of a real estate boom, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. But that's another discussion for another day. Do feel free to reach out to me directly in relation to that, though. So why this conversation matters? Well, the world is changing fast. Those who adapt will thrive, right? AI won't replace agents, but agents who use AI will replace those who don't. How's that for food for thought? Agents who use AI will replace those who don't. Okay, so that's not going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so you don't need to worry. This isn't scaremongering, but it's in the future. It's not, and I'm not too sure how distant that is, how near that is, how close that is. But things are changing fast all around the world. Just because Jamaica might be a bit slower at adopting the technology now. Doesn't mean that people aren't using it. It's not highlighted everywhere. It's not on the news every day. People are using it. The new generation, the younger generation, they're using it. They're not saying they're using it. And the more you make it a taboo, the more it will just be underground, undercover. Everybody's going to be using it. In the workplaces, people will be using it. At the newspapers, the Gleaner, the Observer, you're all using it. I know you're using it. A lot of agents are using ChatGPT. So I know people are using it. They're just not coming out to say they're using it. But adopt it. Start using it. Be open to using it. Have open discussions. I think it's time that we, as an industry, were honest enough to just have those open discussions about it, and instead of making it a taboo, and we need to educate. I think that's what we need. And I think I've written on transformation, technology and transformation in Jamaica on a wider scale, and I think that there needs to be mass education for society as a whole. There's a lot of work to be done in that area, but that's another conversation for another day. Another nugget, another bit of wisdom is, in the 90s, people resisted the internet, right? Today, we can't live without it. AI is the next evolution. So think about that. Secondly, real estate is all about relationships, but AI can make those relationships smarter and stronger. Imagine asking ChatGPT to analyze property data from the last 6 months and giving you a presentation for a client. I mean, how powerful is that? How long would that take you to do? And how accurate would that presentation be if you done it? But combined with your knowledge and AI's capability and power, imagine that final result. Imagine how impressed the client will be. The market just doesn't wait for late adopters. So, I'm not going to say that again. And hey, if you want to do your thing and continue going down the other road. Jamaica has an opportunity to be ahead of the curve, not play catch up. So that's across the board. I think we need to start adopting this. And there is another side. We talked about the pluses and the minuses of AI. Obviously, there's huge potential, opportunity, and we need our people to adopt it. We need to get on top of that in real estate. We need to have those conversations about what happens if the world decides, and I know at least one country has put their land registry system into the blockchain, right? Which means any transaction, you got digital and you got smart contracts, right? And that's another discussion though. But they put that entirely in the blockchain, so everything is digital now. When you purchase something, a piece of property, that's written into the blockchain. It's written into a smart contract, which kind of plays out. So when the transaction happens, when the funds are received, the person on the other end, the buyer, becomes the owner instantly through this smart contract. There's no going back. It just happens, right? And it leaves a footprint as well, so it's traceable, and it's supposed to be almost fail-safe. So I mean, take the that digital system and come back to a paper system where there's inherent risks. I mean, I've always heard this. I heard the saying, "If it's not broke, why fix it?" Okay, yeah, I get that to some degree, but I'm sorry, if the world is moving that faster and things are slower, and we need to be more efficient in Jamaica, then we're going to need to have those discussions, because we need to improve things for not only people coming into Jamaica, but for our own people, right? So it's, for me, it's common sense. It's a no-brainer. Let's have those discussions now. Let's start moving towards it slowly, even if we do that in baby steps. Technology isn't inherently good or bad. It's how we wield it, how we use it that matters. It's how we use it in real estate that matters. And so so that's the way that is. Key questions to challenge yourself and answer, or to challenge myself. Is AI a threat to real estate or agents, or an opportunity? I believe it's an opportunity for those who wish to adopt it, have those early discussions, and are willing to embrace, move forward, and use it for their benefit. Can AI predict real estate trends better than humans? I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of touch points when it comes to real estate. You know, I'm sitting here in St. Mary. I'm driving up and down the coast on a daily basis. I'm touching base with individuals, with people, buyers, sellers, investors. We're having those conversations. AI cannot do that. But if I put all of what I know into a summary and put that into an AI program, along with my thoughts of where the market is, and AI to search the internet and to gather the latest trends, etc., and I supply that information as well from statistical websites, I think the result is going to be amazing each time, right? So I think it's a combined thing. I don't think it's just AI and everything. I think humans and AI mixed together to create things. That's where the magic happens. Does the future of real estate look like it's in a fully AI-driven world? That remains to be seen. As I said, I think some countries have been, well, I don't think, some countries have been early adopters. Some countries have moved way ahead with this. Some countries will be slower at doing that. Will it be an AI-driven world? I truly believe so. And I think it's going to happen with the smaller things first, and then eventually it will come into play. Unfortunately, I really don't want Jamaica to be in the place of playing catch-up. I think that's a bad place to be in, because there are the negatives, and I touched on that, and I know I'm jumping from left to right now. But the thing is that the negatives are going to become worse. They're going to almost be in our faces before we know it, because if we're not adopting, if we're not having enough of those conversations, if there's no steering committees, if we don't have the right advisors on the boards, not just the people we want to be on those boards, we put the right people on those boards and we have the right discussions, we can get ahead of it. We can get in front of it, and I think that's the best place to have the front foot, be on the front foot of it right now. Because, in all honesty, you know, looking at, the conversations that I've seen on the internet, and the conversations that I've had with industry experts, is that crime is becoming more sophisticated. There was a really massive hack the other day. I think it was a couple of billion. It affected various cryptocurrencies, and it was really bad. I never saw that coming, and I should have seen that coming actually, because I was just looking at the future. But it affected it. I think over 2 billion just wiped out, and I think that crimes are going to become more sophisticated, because unfortunately, just like you can use AI for good, you can use AI for bad as well. Some lovely coconut water. You can use AI for bad as well, and so hacking is always a possibility. It always has been a possibility. It's something that probably every website owner dreads. But this sophistication is going to be targeted at governments and associations and all sorts of businesses. It's already happening. And so if you're not, and I know technology groups are already plugging AI into their systems, into their backends, into their defense systems, And so you're going to have AI potentially in the future defending an organization's website or government. And if you don't have that, then the people using AI to attack will have the advantage, because then they've got this super fast, super smart, capable computer simulating attacking, using different combinations, and using the power of that to just interrupt business in countries. I think it's a massive threat, to be quite honest, that governments, both big and small, need to think about and start planning and formulating plans around. Again, another discussion for another day. How do we balance technology with the human touch in real estate? I think that's a day-by-day thing. I think, honestly, we all need to just sit down and plan and start to embrace this technology, start to understand its uses, its where it's going, and adopting it. I think those baby steps are hugely important. What fears do people have about AI, and how do we address them? Well, we address those fears by talking about it, by communicating, by having forums, groups, by coming together and sharing our experience of using AI to benefit our customers, and always stories, and also stories of where we've actually gone wrong, or where we've had incidents where we've got the wrong output, etc. So sharing all of our experiences is what we need to do in order to start to address the problems that are arising, and working together to come up with solutions to overcome. Last two, should Jamaica develop AI-driven real estate platforms? Absolutely. I think we should. And Jamaica Homes is really the first step towards that, in my eyes, for me personally. As I said, I am into technology, and I developed Jamaica Homes as a equivalent to Rightmove in the UK. That was my first thought in the beginning, to have an open real estate platform that owners and sellers could list on free of charge. We've had to, as a founder, I've had and a Realtor-Associate at Coldwell Banker, and being in the industry, I realise that we've had to really kind of batten down on security, unfortunately, which is really bad for everybody. There has been a lot of fraud in real estate. I've heard rumours, and I've read articles of people taking agents' listings, the fraudsters, and listing stuff. So this is, again, technology, right? This is why we need to be talking about technology, not running away from it. We need to walk headfirst into it and have those conversations, and not just brand technology as bad, because it's not. It can be used for bad. We need to have. So basically, they've been taking agents' listings and replicating those, and then people, some suspected customers have been handing over deposits before even seeing places. Let's just stop here and say that you should never, ever hand over money to anyone before viewing the property, and even after viewing the property. There should be paperwork, there should be contracts. If the person's not from a reputable company, a registered company, don't hand over anything. Nobody should be asking you for anything, any money. That's just a no-no. But unfortunately, I guess some people are so good at convincing people to do this that people are actually doing it. And I guess if they create a sense of urgency around viewing a property, that can happen. I can see that. It's sad. It really is, because it actually affects everybody else in the country, and those customers and those sellers who want to do the right thing, because we've had to adopt a really tight security system around what is listed, up to the point where nothing is being listed, but agent listings, which is not what was initially intended. But to safeguard users and to protect the industry as a whole, it had to be done. So I kind of hope that there's more conversations around this on the wider scale, that the associations bring us into those conversations so that we can, start to speak about these things more openly, not demonizing technology or these platforms, because they have a place. All the other countries have them, right? I'm coming from the UK, where Rightmove is the one of the number one property websites. Why can't Jamaica have the same? At the moment, we have the MLS, which is the multiple listing system, which is great. It's fantastic. It's brilliant, and it is somewhat a safeguard against most of these things, But yet still, there are technology driven systems and platforms, and with the way technology is moving, there's going to be more of this. There's going to be more platforms popping up. Anybody in there who knows a bit about website design or building apps in their bedroom could create one of these things, one of these platforms. So we're going to need to have these discussions. We're going to need to formulate plans around them and ensure that the legislation keeps up with what's coming, because I don't think it is up to date at the moment in terms of where technology is going. I think that there needs to be conversations to bring it up to the point where it can protect the public, so to speak. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions about AI in real estate? I don't know, that one is an interesting question. I guess one of them is what I touched on earlier, that AI shouldn't be used. It's a lazy man's tool. I think that's a misconception. AI, where it's gone. I mean, you've got how many versions of ChatGPT is there now? I mean, what are we, version 5 plus? The thing's amazing. I put half a blog in. I've got a full blog. I mean, look, you need to use the technology responsibly, but it is a tool. It's an everyday tool, and lots of us are using it. So that's a misconception. It's a misconception that you shouldn't use AI to help you write a property description. Heck, that's a misconception. But you need to be very careful around this point, because mis-selling a property is bad. It's not good, and it can get you into serious trouble. So write the property description yourself entirely. Do not get, my recommendation is, do not get AI to write that property description for you. Once you've written it, my advice is that you then use ChatGPT to, simple command, please clean this up. Please ensure the grammar and the way it reads is, good. That's the way I use it there, because you need to be very careful there. And I can't suggest anything else. And if you use it, you're using it at your own risk, and I will not be held liable around that. I'm just going to say that right now. That's my disclaimer, because I'm not responsible for what you do. But that's the way I use AI for the property descriptions, because I feel that it can refine what I've written and it makes it flow really nicely. But then, oh my goodness, you need to read that again and again just to make sure that AI hasn't added in an extra word or two that shouldn't be there. Like, there's a fridge, there's 2 fridges, and there's only one. You want to check that. So that's a misconception, that you shouldn't use it for that. I don't think that's not true at all. You should. It's a great tool. Misconception: AI will not disrupt the industry, the AI industry, and just continue as you are, and everything will be fine. And don't change anything that you're doing in terms of social media or posting or the way you work. I think misled if people are telling you that. I think that's a misconception. I think you need to adopt it. I think you need to start changing the way you're doing stuff, even, as I said, taking baby steps towards it, because things are changing. Unfortunately, for some who don't want to adopt, but things are changing. It's happening. And it's a misconception. I know I think this one is mainly from writers. It's from people in news agencies and, the old print establishments, which are still valid. I mean, I love a newspaper. I still pick up newspapers to read, but generally I read most of my stuff on the internet. Honestly, 99%, it's on the internet. If a newspaper's in front of me and I'm sitting there, I'm going to read it. I love reading papers, but most of the stuff I consume is from the internet. It's either using my tablet, one of these devices, or my phone, right? Everybody has one of these. It's a walking computer, right? So, misconception. AI is a tool. It's a wonderful tool. Just like a lot of other things in life, it can be used for good and for bad. How you use it will determine how that works for you. How much you use it will determine how valuable it is to you. What you use it for, and all of that. So I think it's going to be different for everyone. I think for the new generation, it will just be a tool that they grow up with, and that it is. I think it's wrong for corporations or organizations to blacklist or make it a taboo just because another organization's using it to support its endeavors and business plans. I think eventually, I think even those who are speaking against it are using it. That's the thing about it. I think there's a lot of kind of there's a lot of hypocrites out there, if I'll be honest with you. They're all using it. They're all using it they're using it for work. They're using it for all different things in their lives, but they're talking openly against it, against platforms. I think that's just unkind. It's not right. And eventually those people will come out. Those organizations will be shown up, because they'll realize the very people within their organizations are using it too. And that's every organization. I don't think any organization's exempt. Everybody's using it now. So that's where we are. AI is here. The only question is, will we use it wisely? Embracing AI isn't about replacing people. It's about enhancing what we do best. Jamaica has an opportunity to be a leader in the AI-driven real estate. The real estate industry has always evolved. AI is just the next step. The question isn't whether AI will change the game. It already is, yeah? Get that in your heads. It's changing things, right? The question is, will we play to win or sit on the sidelines in Jamaica? Jamaica real estate professionals who embrace AI will have the edge, no question, in the future. May not be today, and some people sit and laugh. Fine, that's fine. Those who ignore it may find themselves struggling to keep up in the end. So, what's your move?